Once the realm of supposition and science fiction, alien worlds orbiting other stars are now indisputable fact. Astronomers call them exoplanets, and the number they have found is in the thousands and rising fast. Spotting an exoplanet isn't easy. They are distant, tiny and relatively dark. To detect them, astronomers use two main methods. The first is called transit photometry and involves pointing a telescope at a star and looking for the regular, slight dimming in its light caused by a planet orbiting in front of it. The other is the radial velocity technique. This relies on the gravitational tug of an exoplanet making its host star wobble slightly. This wobble makes the wavelength of light we see coming from the star vary in a telltale pattern. Because very large planets orbiting close to their stars are easier to spot with both methods, our Hall of Alien Worlds is overloaded with these bloated giants. However, better telescopes have allowed some smaller Earth-like planets to be seen. After the first exoplanets were found in the early 1990s, more discoveries trickled in during the following decade and a half. It wasn't until the launch of NASA's Kepler Space Telescope in 2009 that exoplanet discoveries rapidly increased. Designed to monitor the brightness of 150,000 stars in a patch of the Milky Way, this eye in the sky found around 2,700 planets and over 2,000 more suspected planets. For the first time, this included a small number of Earth-like worlds orbiting at the right distance from their stars to potentially have liquid water, the key requirement for life as we know it. Kepler's reign ended in 2018, but its successor, the Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, is already in orbit and finding more worlds. Its design means it will uncover many more small, rocky exoplanets, where life, should it exist beyond Earth, is more likely. Just 2 months after it began surveying the galaxy, it spotted its first alien world about 60 light-years away. Beyond these endeavors, the next challenge is to learn more about individual alien worlds, what the atmosphere is like. Is there water? Is it rocky? Are there chemical signatures of life? Efforts have already begun. We know some planets have water in their atmospheres, and even clouds. But better information will come from more advanced telescopes. One example is Plato, a European Space Agency telescope due to launch in 2026. It will tell us more about Earth-like planets that we think could have liquid water on their surface. And NASA's James Webb Space Telescope will be powerful enough to directly image some potentially habitable exoplanets. Ultimately, the aim is to dispatch a spacecraft to one of the nearest exoplanets. One project, called Breakthrough Starshot, is developing tiny sensor Lotan probes weighing just 1 gram that it hopes to shoot through space on light sails to beam back data on Proxima b, a world 4.2 light-years away. It orbits in the habitable zone of the red dwarf star Proxima Centauri, our nearest solar neighbor. It will be a monumental effort.